This is Valley News Live at 4.
We begin with continuing coverage of a situation in South Fargo we've been following all day. One man was detained this morning after what police are calling a high-risk search warrant. Here's what we know so far. It happened around 6:40 this morning at an apartment building in the 2200 block of 6th Avenue South. The Red River Valley SWAT team was called in to help. Police set up a perimeter. One person again has been arrested, but police say they are also looking for multiple people of interest. Stick with Valley News Live as we learn more about this developing story. New information on last night's fatal shooting at a Minnesota mall. Eden Prairie police say a 19-year-old man brought his own ammunition to the Shields at the Eden Prairie Center Mall, asked to see a semi-automatic handgun, and took his own life. The mall was put on lockdown after the shot was fired. Folks were eventually allowed to leave last night. Police say this was an isolated event. Switching gears now, here's First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Nathan Hopper with a look at the weather today. Nathan.
Hey, thanks, Justin. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for joining us here on Valley News Live at 4 o'clock. A live look at our Dakota Magic Casino sky cam there right along the South Dakota-North Dakota state line. A bit of a breeze out there, but notice things pretty quiet by and large for us in the Southern Valley as we speak. And of course, with the sunshine we've seen today, look at these temperatures. Moved into the 80s for everybody. Still holding on to some upper 70s there at the airport in Bemidji, but 86 in Grand Forks right now, 84 in Devils Lake and Jamestown, 94 in Bismarck, and then seeing a lot of even some low 80s up into portions of northern Minnesota, where we are seeing some light shower and storm activity as we speak. So this is all associated with the low pressure system there moving through Manitoba, but our northern neighborhood seeing some of those showers and rumbles. Northern Beltrami County there, seeing some of the one storm there, just southern Lake of the Woods County, Roseau County right along Highway 11, seeing some rainfall at this time. Not severe here with these ones, not expecting these ones to be severe. But off toward the west, we are seeing up into Cavalier County some more development. Again, Brandon, Manitoba, seeing one of those really robust storms there. And severe weather right now is out south of Minot. So we are watching, though, that low pressure system to make for a bit more of an active evening for us with that chance of some storms with us in the overnight hours. Notice in Fargo around 8 o'clock or so, we'll see those clouds increasing from the west. But of course, Justin, tracking the storm chances from that low pressure system. And this cold front does make things a bit cooler for the days ahead, so we'll break that down in a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see something like this over the weekend? Lots of viewers sent in videos and photos like this one of these perfectly lined up series of moving lights across the night sky. They're not UFOs. Each one is a satellite associated with SpaceX's Starlink program. It's a satellite internet program. A total of 53 were launched Friday as a part of a series of launches that aims to bring broadband internet to the entire globe. There's another chance to see something like this tonight. Just go to the link you see here, starlink.com, and find out when and where exactly you could see the lights. And feel free to send in more photos to the Submit Photos and Videos link on valleynewslive.com. The Minnesota Attorney General is issuing a consumer alert for crisis pregnancy centers in the state. Keith Ellison says those centers are not regulated under Minnesota law. Many of them offer false or misleading information. A recent study found few are staffed with fully licensed healthcare providers. Only 20% of them have a registered nurse on staff. About 9%, less than 1 in 10, have a doctor. Attorneys general in other states have also been issuing warnings on these types of centers. You can find the full study by going to our VNL News app. An update to a story out of Minnesota that's received national attention. The parents of a Proctor High School football player who was sexually assaulted by a teammate filed federal lawsuit against the coaching staff and district officials Friday, claiming the attack was part of a long-held practice that they knew about and did nothing to stop. The lawsuit is seeking damages in excess of $75,000 plus attorney fees. An 18-year-old was given probation in June and forced to register as a sex offender after sexually assaulting his then 15-year-old teammate with a toilet plunger after practice last fall. Health officials in Minnesota say there have been 103 confirmed cases of monkeypox in the state. That is more than have been confirmed in any surrounding state, though still lower than Illinois, where there have been almost 1,000, and California and New York are the hot spots right now. There are about 15,000 total monkeypox cases in the U.S., though no deaths reported here in the country. The Minnesota State Fair begins in just 2 days, and the Minnesota Department of Public Safety says it will be giving away 10,000 gun locks at this year's fair to anyone who wants one. Officials say giving away the locks is an effort to promote gun safety and hopefully save lives.
It's a free gun lock, okay? No cost, first come, first served. I hope we get rid of them as quickly as possible so I can order some more of them, because I want every Minnesotan that has a firearm in their house to be able to secure that firearm safely.
The locks can be picked up at either the DPS or the Minnesota Department of Natural Resources booths, 2 different spots. State officials say again they hope this will reduce the frequency of unnecessary gun-related deaths and injuries. The state fair begins Thursday. It runs through September 5th. Just in, the new president of NDSU is publicly condemning statements by college young Republicans, which he says are homophobic and hateful, adding they are protected free speech, though not representative of NDSU. We'll have much more on this story coming up on Valley News Live at 5. New at 4, after a year of uncertainty living in Afghanistan, a U.S. citizen from Minnesota is now home with his wife and child. We first told you about Kais Zazai a year ago. He went back to Afghanistan for the birth of his son, not knowing that the government would collapse just weeks later, leaving the Taliban in control. Because he worked for the U.S. as a translator, he was a target of the Taliban, making it hard for him or his family to get out safely. His co-worker and friend, Sarah Lippert, was the driving force behind helping him finally get home.
He was always telling me like, hey, just don't give up. There will be a way for you to get out of there.
There were so many obstacles and sort of false starts and things that didn't work out along the way. I never trusted that he was going to be home until he was on the plane to Chicago.
Kai says he tried daily to get to an airport and get out of the country. He is thankful for Sarah and everyone who had a part in getting him and his family to their new home. Check this out. An Alaska Airlines flight was forced to make an emergency landing yesterday after an engine cover detached. Alaska Airlines said Flight 558 from Seattle to San Diego reported an unusual vibration on the left side of the aircraft shortly after departure. 176 guests and 6 crew members were on that flight. Alaska Airlines said no one was injured. Passengers who were on the flight were able to get rebooked on different ones. The national average for a gallon of regular unleaded gas has now fallen for 70 straight days from just over $5 down to $3.89. North Dakota just a penny cheaper than that, $3.88 statewide. Hasn't fallen as quickly. Minnesota is down to $3.83. Prices are still about 70 cents more per gallon than this time last year. Happening tomorrow in Grand Forks, it's Mayor Bachensky's Back the Badge celebration at the Alerus Center. It's an ATV-UTV parade starting at 6, departing from the Alerus Center, Alerus Drive South. It goes back around to the same location, kind of a square. Grand Forks Police remind you, be ready for some temporary traffic delays along the parade route and be mindful of the officers and people who are working traffic control. Many students and teachers are heading back to school this week, and the West Fargo Police Department is offering some reminders on how to get to and from school safely. They say make sure your student knows to use a sidewalk whenever it's available. Don't walk on the road unless you have to. Look left, right, left, and then check cars before crossing the street, and always cross streets at crosswalks and intersections. A local jewelry shop has reached out to Valley News Live with a new surge of an age-old problem. People being scammed with fake gold. It's happening, they say, at different locations, but always the same story. It's a stranger looking for help, needs gas money. However, it ends up with more than just a gas bill.
I don't have any money. I need enough to get to Chicago. So can you buy me a tank of gas? I bought the tank of gas. The guy goes, could you come up with a few extra dollars because I have this ring here, stamped 18 karat. This is fake jewelry. This is nothing real.
We'll hear from experts and a man who said he was approached by scammers, or at least a person approached by scammers, tonight on Valley News Live at 6. And remember, if you need help with an issue in your community, you can call our whistleblower hotline. The number on your screen, 701-369-3187. It's a voicemail. Call 24/7. Leave your tip. We'll do our best to get to the bottom of it. Take a look at this. A local artist trying to raise awareness about stormwater pollution and its effects on the Red River, our drinking source. This is the first storm drain art project at River Shore Drive and 24th Avenue South in Moorhead. You can learn more about this project tonight at the Moorhead Farmers Market at the Elmcombe Center parking lot. There'll be vendors there. There'll be canoe and kayak rentals as usual, and entry into the museum is free after 5, courtesy of the Historical Cultural Society of Clay County. New at 4, you now have another fitness option in Fargo. Crunch Fitness confirms it is moving into the old Toys R Us building along 13th Avenue South. Renovation is said to cost about $5 million with $1 million in state-of-the-art equipment. We're told there's no tentative opening date yet, though construction begins next week. Still to come here at 4, a mystery illness sickened and killed dozens of dogs in Michigan. Experts working trying to find out why. We'll have the latest.
Low pressure system bringing some severe weather just outside Minot. Some hailers occurring there in central North Dakota. We're watching this cold front from this low pressure, looking to make things a bit more active for us this evening. We'll break down timing, what to expect, and look ahead to what happens next after the break.